Good morning and welcome to ONIF TV. My name is NULGE. Starting off, you remember that we've discussed, a bit about the Nigerian Financial Institute coming out to tell the president that it is much better, for the economy and development if there was a financial autonomy of the local government. So the president has, talked about breaking down the allocation and sending the local government down allocation different, separately from the state government. The state government, the governors of the 36 states under the NGF, also wrote a petition to the president to fight against that policy that local governments should get their allocation separate from the state. So now the National Union of Local Government Workers have also come out to write the president and actually say that they've said to the president, don't mind the government, the governors, the local government union also came out to say that they've been a victim of mismanagement and maladministration by the state government, and they want to be actually responsible for themselves, let the local government be responsible for paying and all of that. That's what the workers, as National Union of Local Government Employees, that's what they're coming to say, that actually support this new development, and that the president, as Muhammadu Buhari, that it should not be shaken in its resolve by the petition that was written by the governors. That's what the union has come out to say, and it spells that definitely before now it has been in talks for a while, granting the local government autonomy and their own separate power, making them a separate entity from the state government, and cutting down the allocation, financial allocation, that they're not dependent on the state government to get the allocation. It grants them the autonomy. It also placed them in a position where they're not subjected. They're not subjected to the state government, because they can actually carry out policies by themselves and without waiting for the state government's approval. And it's the reason why. One reason why we should also look at it in another angle is that will there not be sort of strife between the two, because even when the state government is the one in charge, probably if they're beefing a particular local government chairman and all of that, it probably doesn't get as much as it should get, like the other local governments. I don't know, I'm just saying that. And now if you're separating them, so to say, it actually bears the fact that will there not be a power clash? You get the local government chairperson trying to prove that this is my terrain, and then the state governor trying to prove that you're under my state and all of that. It begs that question, and it makes us wonder actually that I hope there will not be issues of that sort, and we'll keep you informed and keep you posted as things begin to evolve concerning the financial autonomy of the local government. Also, moving on, Adamu, Muhammad Adamu, he was the acting Inspector General of Police. Now, after a meeting of the Nigerian Police Council headed by the President Muhammadu Buhari and the 36 governors are also members of the council, they have actually, made him, they've approved his appointment as the Inspector General of Police. Initially he was just acting, but now he's the, Inspector General of Police. And Muhammad Adamu has come out to say that he's a basic thing that he wants to do, as Inspector General of Police, would be to restructure the police and also, re-strategize on how they can actually achieve conquering the insecurity in the state, and the fact that he has been acting for a while and he has served as commissioner of police before in Ekiti State, it shows that he has enough experience with the police force and with the civilians, and he probably, would have a very nice idea or a very good and effective idea. If he's saying restructuring and re-strategize, that means that he probably has a plan, on what to do and what not to do. So we really hope, we really hope that, his time as being Inspector General of Police is very fruitful, and he is able to tackle the insecurity menace that's becoming a stain on Nigeria. So, we're actually hoping for that, and he's done well so far. Even the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Council, that's Fayemi, the current governor of Ekiti State, he commended his appointment, and he also said that it was a unanimous decision that was reached by the council. He also went out to say that Muhammad Adamu has been the commissioner of police in his state before, and he did very well. So, they're telling us basically that, we trust this guy and he's going to deliver. So we actually really hope that he delivers. Now, that brings me to the fact that, Fayemi was congratulated by the President Muhammad Buhari on winning the Nigeria Governors Forum election as the chairperson of Nigeria Governors Forum. Even Fayoshe, the outgoing governor of Ekiti State, even a different party, he still congratulated Fayemi as the chairperson of the Nigeria Governors Forum. Buhari also told him that, that's the president, he said to Fayemi that, after congratulating him, he said that he should use this period to make sure that there's he fosters unity, and harmonious relationships between the governors, and so that there'll be a healthy working atmosphere, and so that the governors can actually work together. Nigeria is a country before the states actually that they all work together to develop the states respectively. And if you need aid, okay, that's my own words now. If you need something from another state, if there's a sort of like a friendship or a relationship or a harmonious, working, a cordial relationship between two governors, it'll actually be easier, for development and even building roads interstate. That's a federal government job, it basically makes things work better when there's sort of like an harmonious relationship, between governors. Also, Saraki's case against EFCC has been moved to the 24th of June by Justice Taiwo. Now, the interesting part, is that EFCC actually filed on Tuesday that Justice Taiwo should not be, allowed to preside over any EFCC case again. They've accused him, of being biased, as they no longer had faith, in his judgment and his rulings. Recall that he was the one that, stopped the EFCC from probing Rochas Okorocha. Is the one that also pulled EFCC out of Saraki's business, and he's the one that has the case, the Saraki case, against the EFCC before him. Now the EFCC has come out to say that, we don't trust this man and we don't want him to continue to preside over our cases. And the EFCC took that before the chief judge of the Federal High Court, Abuja. They said basically that they don't want Justice Taiwo to be in charge to preside over EFCC cases anymore. Although the chief judge, has not responded to that. As Taiwo, it seems that Justice Taiwo is actually the one that's going to be presiding over Saraki's case, against the EFCC. that is probably going to happen. But the ruling has been the case has been moved to the 24th of June. So probably maybe before then, the EFCC case would have probably been heard by the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, and he'll probably maybe pull Justice Taiwo back from handling EFCC cases and put another judge, on the EFCC Saraki case. And if that doesn't happen, it probably say no, you guys are just being, you're just being sensitive that the judge is actually doing everything as he ought to do. And it also brings me to the question that were there other issues on ground before, or just the fact that he has ruled against the EFCC in 2 cases, and that's the Okorocha and the Saraki case. Is that enough reason to actually say that we don't trust this man? It begs that question actually. But the EFCC probably has, their reasons for saying that. Also, the Super Eagles of Nigeria, they've said that they aim to win the opening match against Qatar. That's during the AFCON, the African Cup of Nations, that be starting. And we wish them the best. We'll definitely cheer for our Super Eagles team. Although we've heard over the news that there's no pressure on Super Eagles to win the cup, but we really hope they would actually, and we wish them all the best, and we're cheering for them actually, and would continue to update you, give you updates as it continues to progress. Thank you for watching today. My name is NULGE, watching ONIF TV, and have a very beautiful weekend. Thank you.